Howdy folks, welcome back. Time to try another game. Difficulty is hard, and we're going to start our timer here. Got some cool little patterns here, some lines diagonal through here, look kind of cool. Now it's kind of got a cube up here and down here with no numbers, so that'll be a little interesting. Alright, so I'm seeing some threes here. We've got a 3 and a 3, left and right, and a 3 down the middle. So it looks like we've got a couple options for our 3 here. We have a 3 down the middle and a 3 down the middle. So it looks like we've got a couple options for our 3 here. 3 across the bottom, 3 across the top, 3 down the middle. Looks like we have, normally we'd have 2 here, but we have a cool little ghost line. So that makes this a 3. We've got a 3 across the middle in the bottom, and we have a 3 across the middle in the right. So there's our 3s. Alright, that was delicious. Let's see what else we got coming down here. I see some 9s. We have a 9 in the right, a 9 in the left, 9 across the bottom. So we have a couple 9s as an option there. Alright, we have a 9 down the left, a 9 up the right, and across the top. So we have a couple spots here for a 9. Alright, a 9 across the top, 9 across the bottom. Okay, 9 across the bottom up here in this cube, so we have 2 spots that could be a 9. A 9 across the top here, 3 choices, and we've got 3 choices here. Okay, so we don't have that one sorted just yet, which is okay. But in this column, right here, we can't have a 9 here, and we can't have a 9 here or here. So we actually have 2 in this column that could be for a 9. I see a 3 and a 6. A 6 can't be there. A 6 can't be there. Okay. Alright, let's come back to that. I might be going a little bit. Okay, so we've got a 7 across the bottom, 7 across the bottom in the middle, and down the middle here. So we have 2 choices for our 7 here. We've got a 7 across the middle and a 7 across the middle, so we have 2 choices for our 7 here. 7 across the middle, 7 across the middle. We have 2 choices for our 7 here. Alright, and it looks like in these top 3 cubes we have a couple different choices for our 7. Okay, 5s. I see a 5 across, and a 5 across, and a 5 across down the right side. So this one here has to be our 5. And we know this one of these two had to be our 9, so that right there helps to resolve that one. Down here in this bottom cube, we have a 9 in the right, 9 down the middle. One of these 3 have to be a 5. We have a 5 in the left and a 5 in the top, so we have one of these 2. I want to do this one first before the bottom one because I now have a 5 to the left, 5 to the right, just 1 spot for the 5 here. And then we have 2 spots for the 5 here. And then over here in this cube, we've got a 5 across, a 5 down the middle. We still have 2 spots for the 5 here. 5 across the top, 5 up the middle. We have 4 choices here for the 5. So we still have a couple more choices on that one. Okay. Alright. Okay, let's look at some other numbers. Which number shall we look at next here? 8s. I see this 8 across the bottom and 8 across the top and 8 down the right side, which makes this one an 8. So only one of these 2 could be our 5. So when we do this 8, this one's going to be 5. This one's going to turn into our 7. This one's going to turn into our 3. This is now going to be our 3. We've resolved this 5, so this is going to be our 5, not this one. Now we only have 2 spots for our 5. Okay, so that kind of helped resolve quite a bit down here with that one number. Now I see this 1 here. So in this row we need a 1. Well, it can't be here or here, so that means this one is going to be our 1, which is going to make one of those 2 a 1. Now what number am I missing? 1, 2, 3, a 4, 5, and a 6. a 4, and a 6. Okay, which tells me this one has to be a 2. A 4 and a 6. Okay, 4, 6, 4, 6. And I was just looking here in the center cube or the top cube to see if anything can help us with that just yet. And not just yet. That's okay. Alright, so now we've got 3 spots left here and 3 spots here. So let's see what we're missing here. We're missing a 1 in this cube. We've got a 1 across the top. Makes that our 1 on the bottom. That makes that kind of nice. Alright, and what are we missing? Hey, look at that. A 4 and a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 and a 6. What a coinky dink. And then it looks like we're missing a 2 here in this row. That will solve it. And look what we're missing here, a 4 and a 6. Now we do have a 6 and a 4 vertically here, so we can resolve those. Alright, great. So now this 4 is going to help us with this one. 4 and a 4. Okay. Alright, so now, and then we're missing 2 other numbers here. We're missing a 9 and a 2. We've got a 9 that comes across, still have 3. We have a 2 that comes across, could still be these 3. So we have a couple different choices there. Okay, alright, so that one is not ready to be completed just yet. Let's see what else we have. Let's look at the ones. Okay, I see a 1 across the top, 1 across the middle, and 1 in the right column. We have 2 spots for a 1 here. 1 in the right column, 1 in the bottom. Could still have 3 spots for a 1. Okay, alright, let's look at our 2's here. We have a 2 on the left and a 2 down the middle. So we still have 3 spots. It could be a 2. 2 that comes up and 2 comes across. Have 3 spots here, 4 spots here. 2 that comes up the middle, still 3 spots for our 2's. So our 2's are still wide open. Looks like our 3's are all done. Let's look at our 4's, shall we? You know, we've got some 4's and we've got some 4's. We've got our 4 identified over here. Okay, so we've got a 4 across the top. Alright, and so that still leaves us 3. Lots of choices for our 4's. Let's look at our 5's here. We've got a 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. 5's are all done. Let's look for our 6's. We've got a 6. That one's done. That one's done. 6 is done here. Alright, so if we go 6 across the bottom, 6 down the middle, we only have 2 spots here that could be a 6. Alright, and we have a 6 across the bottom. We have 4 choices here. Okay, great. We have a 6 across the bottom and a 6 across the middle, so we only have 2 choices here. That's great. Okay. Alright. How about our 7's? We've got our 7's marked here, 7's marked here, 7 in the middle and 7 in the right, so we have 2 spots here for our 7. We have lots of choices in this cube and lots of choices in this cube. Alright, what about our 8's? So we have an 8 that comes up to the top here, so we've got 2 spots for an 8 here. Okay, we have an 8 to the right and an 8 to the left, just 1 spot for our 8. And that solves that. And there's only 1 there. I missed that completely. Okay, I'm a goober. Okay, right, so we have an 8 that comes up the left side and an 8 across the top, which gives us 2 spots for the 8 in this cube, which gives us a great ghost line. So we have an 8 to the left, an 8 to the right, and an 8 below, which is going to lock us, folks. Right there, we've got an 8 and a 9, and an 8 and a 9, 8 and a 9, 8 and a 9, 8 and a 9. So that tells me this cannot be a 6. So that makes this one has to be a 6, because if there's 2 numbers, one is 8, that's a 9, that's a 9, that's an 8. Cannot change it. That completely locks that up. So that pushes that other number out. Okay, so now that's going to help us resolve a couple of these. 6 and a 4. Okay, so now we've got a 4 that comes up. We've got a 6 that comes up and a 6 that comes down. So now we have 2 spots here for our 6. Okay. Alright. So we've got an 8 and a 9 here in this column. The other 2 numbers we're missing looks like a 1 and a 4. That 4 is going to be kind of a linchpin there. 1 and a 4. Okay, very good, very good. Let's see, did that help us out any other way? Got our 8, got our 9. Okay. All right, I think we were working on our 8, so we've got our 8 here, we've got our 8 here, we've got our 8 here. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Do we have an 8 resolved here in the middle? We have an 8 across the top and an 8 up the right. So any one of these could still be an 8. So we don't have that one sorted just yet. Okay, let's look at our 9s, shall we? Okay, we've got a 9 already identified here, and a 9 here, and a 9 here. Okay, in this particular cube, we just have a 9 coming across, so we have 3 spots that could still be a 9. Okay, we have 2 here identified. So all of our 9s are identified. Okay. So let's look at this cube, this little spot right here. I've got a 1, 2, 3. This could be a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this one can only be a 4 or a 7. Okay. I was looking at these spots like right here that have nothing on it to see if those could help us resolve any numbers. So this could be so it can't be a 1, now it could be a 2, 3, could be a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this spot here has to be a 2 or a 4. Okay, so that's kind of neat that 2 of those spots that didn't have anything only could be 2. So let's look at this one here. We've got a 1, okay, it could be a 2, not a 3, not a 4, not a 5, not a 6, could be a 7, not an 8, not a 9. Okay, 2 and a 7. All right. Okay, and we've got a 5 here. We've got a 1. We've got a 4 and a 6 here. So one of these two has to be a 6 because there's a 6 here, which is great. That helps that one. Okay. All right. Do we have any other ones that are empty that we could kind of find those numbers that are missing here? Let's look at this one here. We've got a 1, 2, 3. Now it could be a 4, 5, 6, could be a 7. Okay, but it could be an 8 as well. 8 and then a 9. Okay. Alright, 4 and a 6. Okay, so we have a 4. What are the 3 numbers we're missing here in this column? Here we've got we need a 9, okay, which could be here, or it could be here or here. What is the other number we're missing? A 2? Okay, so we could have a 2 here or here, because we do have a 2 here. Okay, now we've got 3 numbers we're missing here, which is going to be a 2, a 7, and a 9. Okay, so could we have a 2 here? I think we could. Could we have a 2 here? Yes, we could. Okay, so this one here is completely marked out. Okay. And then what are we missing here? Again, we needed a 1, a 2, a 4, and a 9. Those are the numbers that are missing. Okay. Okay, but it can't be a 4, so it's just a 1, a 2, or a 9. So this one could be a 1 or a 2, but not a 9. This one could be a 1, a 2, or a 9, but not a 4. Okay. So these ones we're missing a 1, 2, 7, and a 9, and there's our 7. Okay, so we have a 9 here and a 9 here. Got a 1 here. 2 can be anywhere, but a 7 can only be here. Okay. Alright, so this one is fully marked out. Let's see here. Let's look at this one here. We have a 1 up the right side. So let's go ahead and mark those up. That's 1, 2, 3. A 4 is up the right side here. So we have a possibility of a 4, 5. We have our 6 over here. We have our 7. We have our 8 and we have our 9. Okay, so this one's fully marked up. Let's mark this one here. We've got our 1. Okay, 2 comes up the middle. So we have a 2, 2, 2. We have a 3. Let's look at the 4s here. 4 in the right column and across the top, and I don't see any ghost rows, so we have lots of 4s. 5 is here, 6 is here. Okay, 7 comes up the top, and we don't have any ghost rows for our 7, so we can have a 7, 7, 7, 7. Let's see, what about an 8? I think we have our 8 over here because we have an 8 here and we have a ghost row and an 8 across the bottom. There's our 8, and then where's our 9? 9 to the right, 9 to the left, and 9 across. Okay, so this one here, we already know that one can't be our 4, right? Because we have this 1 and 4 here, and 8 and 9 there. Okay, so that is great. So that eliminates one more spot that we cannot have a 4, just to keep it a little simpler there. Okay, why is this one only an 8? Did I miss a number here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Cool. So this one here can only be an 8. When we go through all of these numbers, 8 is the only one left in this particular spot that can be there, which tells me if this is a 7 or an 8, let's just double check our numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 7. Very good. Okay, so one of these two numbers is our 7, so this one has to be our 7. Well, one of these two numbers was our 6. Just verify that, a 6 down the middle, 6 across the bottom. Alright, and then we knew that these ones were a 4 and a 6. Now that we have this 6 here, that helps to complete this one. So we know this can't be a 4 anymore. Okay, and if that can't be a 4 anymore, well, I want to say this was our only other 4, but that's not true. We didn't have this fully marked out for our 4s here. Okay, this can no longer be a 7. We can get rid of that 7 there. We have a 7 up the right side and a 7 up the middle. So this one is our 7, which means this one is our 8, which means this one's our 8, which means this one's our 9. Okay, and then one of these two was a 9, but we have our 9 across the top. So there's our 9. So one of these is a 2. Alright, so now we have, I'll show you that ghost row here. If these is a 2 and a 7, that means that this one can't be a 2 and this one can't be a 2. Which leaves just a 1 here. And this is the only one left that can be a 2. Now this is the only one left that could be a 4, and this is the only one left that can be a 9. That resolves this 9. Okay. Alright, so we're doing a lot of resolutions here. Okay, and we've got our 7 already, so there's our 8. Okay, this one is no longer a 9. We've got 2 left here, which is going to be a 2 and a 4, and we've already got our 2. So there's our 2, there's our 4. Okay, in this particular column, we just did our 4 and our 6, so we're just, sorry, row, we're just missing a 1. Alright, now one of these two is a 1. Well, we just got our 1 there, so there's our 1, there's our 4, and this one here, out of the 1, 4, 6, and 7, 6 is the only one left. Alright, so now we're going through these numbers. Here's a 7 here, we can get rid of 7 here and 7 here, we can get rid of a 7 here, which means this is the only one left for a 7. We've got our 2 down here, 4 is the only one left here. So now we have a 2 and a 5, which is very fitting because here's our 5, here's our 2s and our 7s. So that is very good. Okay, so what 3 numbers are we missing here? 1, 2, so a 2 could go here, or here, or here. 3, we need a 4. Okay, so 4 is going to be our helpful here. 4 not across the top, 4 not across the bottom. So 4 is the only one that's going to be allowed at the bottom, which only leaves 1 space left for the 5. 1 space for the 2, and then those are going to help cascade the solutions. Congratulations! Boom! There we are, folks. So there we go. Hard resolution. Part of that was identifying those double locks in this particular puzzle. The 8 and the 9 helped us. Anytime you see two blocks that can only be two numbers, it eliminates it from being anything else. Those two are locked. You can't put any other number in those spaces. That really helps to resolve them. Keep an eye on the 2s and the 3s. If you see 3 available slots, count those down. That helped us a lot in this game, identifying which 3 are missing. And then when we get to the end, and if you get lost like me, start putting in all the numbers. You'll find that there's a cube that only has one number available to it. So just using some strategies there that I have learned, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And again, this was a hard puzzle. Feel free to leave any comments, suggestions, or challenges. I welcome them all. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later. Bye.